Wizards. Welcome to episode 25 of Wizard Wednesdays. And boy, do we have an incredible day ahead of us, an incredible week ahead of us, and a beautiful, beautiful year coming up to an end very soon. It's been a good day. We've just released the first ever Wizard commercial to represent the Wizard group. That goes for the Wizard store, which you guys have now seen, alongside many other sectors that we will be revealing very soon. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the commercial. It's been a lot of hard work behind the scenes to deliver a difference in this market. As you've probably seen from Twitter already, and as you can probably see right now, which I'll be getting into, we decided to take things a little different with the Wizard brand. We are going corporate. We are not going for this mimicky and gimmicky industry that we're currently in, where you see all of this flashy lifestyle. We're not here for that. We're here for professionalism, and we are here to take the crypto space to the next level. As you've probably seen with the news anyway, the likes of Mark Carney from the Bank of England already discussing talks with Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook regarding Project Libra. There's some crazy things going on right now, and with all of that news coming out, we had to drop the Wizard commercial today, alongside the BTC and XRP calls also coming through to absolute precision. So if you haven't seen those commercials already, please check the link in the bio. If not, I will try and make this pop up on the screen as well. People are going absolutely wild, and rightly so, because the revolution is underway. Now, what's going on in the crypto market on that term as well, and what will we be covering in this episode in particular? And first of all, we'll be going over the likes of Backed, going over the BTC dominance, which is slowly inclining higher, alongside the calls that just came through. So I just wanted to highlight something. The date today is the 28th of August, and as you can see on the 25th of August, what I actually covered was, I did say stay clear of the market for the time being, as you'll hear in further depth within the podcast. I think BTC is showing warning signs of a drop down to 9,600 from here. Not worth risking the short either. Better to let it unfold and strike from there. I then tweeted just above, in correlation with this, XRP should head to the 0.24 region, 0.24 cents that is. Now, if we actually go through up here, I believe someone may have just tweeted it a minute ago. If not, I've already just said, Twitter, Instagram, the Telegram, all these groups, they were littering social media and telling all their followers, buy now, don't be patient. And it just shows not only immaturity, but a lack of actual understanding of how the cryptocurrency market actually works. So perfect timing, as I said. It could even be the stars aligning ever so elegantly with what's actually unfolding with the Wizard family right now. So we'll just throw that out there. We'll get to the charts in a second, but first of all, let's have a little look as well at CoinMarketCap. And with a little refresh, my goodness, we're now at 69.3%, when I was actually planning to record this a little earlier, but obviously we released the commercial. The BTC dominance was actually precisely at 69%, and I gave a little theory on Twitter as well. I'll try and find that right now. Let's see if we can find that tweet, because I did kind of let my mind spill on what I think will actually be happening with the BTC dominance. And the idea here was, it's resting comfortably at 69%, and that was 4 hours ago. And again, if my theory comes through that by end of year we actually begin gearing up for the next bull run, I wouldn't be surprised to see this dominance reach 84 to 85%. And again, Backed, which we'll be going to in a second, could cause a short-term push down to the $8,600 region, which we did cover in the prior Wizard Wednesdays as well. But I do believe from there, the momentum and the liquidity that's actually coming from Backed after they've potentially shorted the market would provide a huge liquidity boost when the market actually begins exploding to the upside. So in covering that, again, a lot of this goes down to the trade wars that's going on. Again, Mark Carney calling for the end of the dollar as a reserve currency. Crypto is going to absolutely boom, and there's some crazy things going on right now. Again, thank you for all of the love. This could be a night commercial. Guys, I cannot thank you enough for the support. The team here are overwhelmed with the feedback, and it's just made us very, very happy. So thank you once again. Let's go over to the Backed page, because what we will be doing is trying to almost maneuver our analysis around the September the 23rd launch of the futures, the Backed Bitcoin futures. So September the 23rd is when it happens. Again, we've seen what's happened with CME futures, and for all we know, the same could be occurring once backed actually launches. And again, December, when the market absolutely died from CME futures, we could be seeing similar alarm bells. We're often overwhelmed with the futures being released and institutionals jumping on board, but the institutions are very calculated, they're very smart, and they're very precise, which means when it comes to buying and selling, they go for optimal prices, not all-time highs or anywhere near that region. That would just be absolutely stupid on an investment and a professional scale. And that is why these individuals and institutions and almost corporations, and do you know what, even gangs, they get together, insider trading, all of that stuff that occurs, they know they control the market. We are simply slaves to the market that must abide by the signs that we're being given. So let's flick over to the Wizard platform and let's have a look at the BTC chart. So starting off with BTC, now seeing as we have actually seen that drop over here, if you look at the actual region, $9,600, I did say originally on Twitter, this was the original bias, a quick drop down to $9,600, but I was actually anticipating if this did fail, any long opportunities to potentially come through around this region. So I'm not actually too confident right now on this long bias continuing. We do need to wait for this 4-hour candle closure and of course the daily candle closure as well. As you can see, huge level of support, this $10,000 to $10,100 psychological level of support and resistance, as it's continuously bouncing back and forth from, has held significantly well over the past few days and even week over this region acting as support. But now we've broken through. Should we see a daily candle closure, if the wick does not pull back to this level, we will be looking at retests of this region before absolutely melting to the downside. Now, as I said, everyone was screaming buy, buy, buy here, and they just tapped that level. Again, we had this preempted and pre-marked from prior lessons and whatnot, and even on Telegram, and it absolutely just tapped it with precision and died down to the called region with yet again absolute elegant and beautiful precision. Now we've hit this level, time to be a bit more precise and calculated. Again, just waiting for this region right now to close. I did actually tweet earlier as well, do not set any buy orders or sell orders or anything for the market right now during these volatile periods. It's best to actually await the price action to unfold and manually execute from there onwards. Putting this into perspective right now, let's actually go to September the 23rd. Just wanted to double check that and have a little look at what's going on right now. So September the 23rd, let's set a vertical line around that date. As once we get to the overall long-term bias, we can see how this actually fits in with the overall analysis. So right now, for the time being, I would be patient, although this does look pretty promising in a sense that it is following all of our guidelines. We have a nice trend line tap there as well. So if we do start seeing this candle closure here, and it is actually okay to enter now, considering we have just seen a very large significant move, the risk to reward on this trade, I wouldn't actually go all in, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be entering your normal position size, because after a movement like this, a lot of manipulation can occur. But looking at this trend line here, on the 4-hour perspective, if we just refine that a little bit better, we can see the current price action aligns up nicely with this trend line as well. So should we actually see a closure here, it could be wise to even enter a small risk position with only 20-30% of your overall position. Very tight stop loss, but a nice risk to reward, 7 times your actual outcome if this is pulled off. So with a very small entry and a very small position, you could easily take a little bit more of a risk, but a much easier and potential better entry around this region. Should you start seeing the candles close back above here, we have an hour left for that candle closure, you can very easily then finish the remainder of your position with a much stronger bias that it will be reversing back to the upside. But first of all, we did have to wipe out those pesky, although we are retail traders ourselves, the average trader, whoever I see on Telegram and stuff, I still consider him a retail trader. And again, just thinking how outside the box and how an institution would think, it looked too easy for a long opportunity, and that's why I said stay back. So should we start seeing some candle closures around this region, then guys, by all means necessary, simply another execution here, stop losses back below the same region, not as big a position again, and you can start targeting what could potentially be a pullback to the upside. But again, we need to take many factors into consideration on this trade, and that's why I may even stay out of this myself right now, because it's not looking too promising for now. Because this trend line is also broken, as much as we want it to hold, it has also been pierced, and should this obviously validate and break through, we could be seeing a retest confirming with this trend line over here. A lot of trend line action going on right now, I know, but overall this is looking pretty messy. And if I was to cheat and draw this from this current price action region here, then it actually makes more sense to see, once I get rid of these Fibonacci levels, what could be a break We can now ignore this. Actually, no, we'll leave this here for now. What we could then be seeing with this current break and this very valid counter trend line, as you can see, broken, a quick retest around this region, which could actually provide a potentially stronger setup. So let me just whip this up here. As we've already seen this unfold, you can see the 61.8 was tapped, trend line was tapped, and we have these regions down here at $9,470 and $9,000 collectively. If you actually start considering the potentiality of this movement, then let's have a look at this right now. As you can see, nice Fibonacci's in play. We can actually add another fib in a second, but we'll leave that for now. Marking out the $9,000 region as a nice key round number of where price could go. If we drop down to the 1 hour now, it's already broken, to be honest with you. I would not be too confident right now, because what could be happening from here is this arrow could be pulling back towards this region, or even taking a while to then extend towards this region here. As you can see, that could take several hours to maybe even a day or two. Test this region here, the newly found broken resistance of $10,000. Bearing in mind there's lots of wicks here as well, could be fulfilling anywhere within this region before dying down to $9,000. And this is where things get a bit interesting, because if you notice as well, when I did say do not enter XRP yet, this is the weekly perspective. Guys, these wicks here are heavily threatening, and looking at where they are now, if this thing gives way, then we will well and truly begin our descent into the 20 cents region. And everything I've been saying from the beginning of the year, from February onwards, will actually become a reality. And anywhere down to 16 cents now, looking at this threatening behavior, because you have to realize we're not seeing wicks pushing up, we're seeing wicks descending lower. So if we actually start breaking below 24 cents, then by all means, guys, this is going straight down to 20 cents and of course 16 cents. So whilst I did originally give the downside bias and then saw a potential opportunity on BTC, I still did not take it and told you guys not to take it as well, because if this did happen, we would have to change very quickly. So it's not always worth taking that unnecessary risk. And again, it's not worth being in the market 24/7. People just want to be in there 24/7, show profits, do all this stuff. It doesn't work that way, and often it will lead to over trading, and it will give you the wrong subconscious programming when it actually comes to trading. So if we just continue with BTC for the time being, looking at that horrific daily, let's get rid of all of this for now. Let's get rid of this as well. Let's leave that there. Let's keep this there, and notice where all of this is coming through. Now, if I was to extend this all the way down a little bit more and start noting how this could end up, this is why I believe when BACT actually comes through, we will be fulfilling anywhere from $8,000 to $6,000. And I do truly believe now that this is all unfolding, that $6,000 is actually going to become a very solid potentiality. Looking at all of this now with the trend lines in play and everything else that's unfolding, and let's just do a little tester on this as well. Yep, that was it. It was the Fibonacci that came through on the 61.8. Guys, we have $8,000, which was the first call as well. So even ignoring $9,000, because this is a crucial region anyway, as you can see from here, if you literally just look at this level, if we break above, we retest again, we are going to start descending down into the $8,000 and $6,000 region. Using the BACT, the futures launch, to put this into consideration, this huge movement to the downside, even if I remove this trend line right now, would actually provide a very solid analogy of a breakout. And again, looking on the weekly, we have a wedge formation. We've broken out the wedge by at least September the 30th, by the end of September, which is literally a month away. We should be seeing the inverse head and shoulders actually fulfilling. Looking at this bearish momentum right now, it's just looking like a simple retest. We've had a whole year of growth, an entire year, from $3,000 up to $14,000, and people did not expect a correction by any means necessary. Now, if you look at the overall longer term picture of the fib from the bottom to the top, you can see, as I've covered before, 7.3 up to around $8,000. Perfect confluence on the Fibonacci's within Fibonacci's. And what's this one here? Let's get rid of that for a second. Let's keep this nice and clean. Looking over here, we've got the Fibonacci's confluencing, and of course, that downside target from the A, the B, and the C, and the D extension aligning with $6,000 as well. We have the 5,500 in the 6K region as well. This is really starting to add up as a huge potentiality, and it's just looking crazy possible right now. So looking at this, and everyone that was calling huge upside biases, again, I was expecting it if it held, but we didn't enter. So we were fully covered, and there's a reason I said we made some good moves off these calls here. We secured the profits, we took them off the table. So it would be absolutely insane to even consider going long right now. And looking at how this can go, and how, again, very simple actually, if I just extend this out to here and just kind of put a lot of focus around this region. We've broken through this region, which is a crucial level. The fact that price tested these levels many times over and it kept rejecting higher shows me there was a huge amount of buy orders set here in anticipation, and price could not break through around $9,800. But now we've actually pierced this level. This for me is just a huge warning sign of a severe drop to potentially come. So on a 1 hour perspective as well, this is broken. You may catch a nice little intraday long opportunity, maybe back to 10 to 10,100, but overall now we need to start gearing up for a huge shift in what is potentially going to be unfolding. So putting that into perspective, there isn't too much to really say, guys, because this was covered in the prior Wizard Wednesdays anyway as what could potentially be happening, and now this is unfolded. I basically see this coming through. So going over to the XRP chart, just covering this a little bit further as well. After breaking through this level, when we covered the initial 24 cents drop, we pulled back up, but we actually continued descending. So all we done was manipulated lower, huge wick fish, huge spike, huge amount of liquidity sent us lower. From there, when it did pull back up, all it showed was it failed to close back within this region and price continued its descent lower. If we do wipe out this wick, then yes, 20 cents and 16 cents, which would be one of the most phenomenal buying opportunities of a lifetime. If we actually align this with, let's go to the daily. Again, just noting all the prior price action around here as well. Crucial level of support, and resistance. You can see before the bull run, you can see that push higher, double taps this region here, and we absolutely rocketed towards that $3.3 zone as well. So going over to the daily right now, let's mark up September the 23rd on the vertical arrow. Not that far away now, which is pretty scary. It's just over there. So yet again, using this in confluence with what could be going on, this line for me is essentially a visualization of what is going to be the differential between a bull run and the market falling. So literally what you are seeing here is almost the past tense. We have seen the first half of the wild and wacky cryptocurrency market saga. Now, once we actually breach this line where BACT begins to unfold, although it may not have a huge shift on the market, it may just be that final push we need to break this region. And everything you see from this line onwards could potentially become the shift of a new era and the shift into 2020. The BTC halving, of course, is in May 2020, and the logic behind this overall, the BTC halving has always aided the BTC price to rise, and the reason being is the mining difficulty obviously is increasing anyway, ever increasing, and the mining reward halvens. Now what this means is, although the mining difficulty is getting harder, the mining reward is getting lower, which means the price must be higher for per Bitcoin for the miners to actually sustain the electrical costs and all of the environmental damaging costs that come with mining cryptocurrency. Same goes for Litecoin and many others as well. The overall principle applies that the BTC price should actually be ascending on a year-by-year basis. Do not look on a short-term level, actually focus more on a yearly basis. And if you actually look on a yearly perspective, every year, BTC from 2017 has progressively got higher and higher by the end of the year. So even though we are necessarily lower for 2019 compared to the remainder of the years, we still have 2020 over here, which does mean we could very easily still end up all the way back up here, and the same goes for BTC, which I'll cover in a second. And if we do actually confirm we have ended up closing higher for 2019 as well, then guys, the next bull run should occur around the halving period, and actually around February to March, I believe we could start gearing up to rally. And then of course, just before the halving and moving on to the halving onwards, that's when you can really start anticipating the next rounds of highs, using another little wedge to actually formulate what could be occurring as well. Just an approximate wedge, it's nothing really drastic, but if we just extend this out over here, make that nice and thick, all you can see is we've broken below. If we break back above this trend line around this same period, test lower, tap, break above, go back and start working upon this weekly trend line again, I just believe we're going to be incrementing higher and higher and higher and higher. And of course, absolutely rocketing over the next 2 years. So going back to the daily, just to look at a more intraday and intraday perspective as well. For me, guys, it's just pretty scary, to be honest with you, to really be entering this right now. If you did take the 24 cents call, then you should be in some good profit already, to be honest with you. But the same logic applies, and I would just be a bit cautious right now of trying to do anything on this chart. If you look at this, reducing the thickness a little bit as well. Let's just do a rough one because it's not too precise right now. But even if you've done that or you've done that over there, we've broken through. We could easily be seeing that pullback yet again. That's what we want to be waiting for. Let's get rid of this. And now that we've seen this drop, although we haven't seen the real pullback just yet, what we could be doing although the candle has now closed, it's just marking this off here. So marking that up to there. Not sure why the Forex levels are here. I have not looked at Forex in a while. Goodbye. Nope, let's keep that. Perfect. So looking at that right now, as you can see, the confluences as well. Look at the alignments, 23.5 cents and 22.5 cents, give or take, with room to break lower. This wick here, if it's broken, which aligns also perfectly with our level, this alone tells me that we should at least be achieving 24 to 23.5 cents very soon. I'd be very wise, I'd be very cautious, and I would just stay clear right now. Looking at this breakout, I would simply await a retest of this level. We have the 61.8, precisely our prior zone, and the 78.6 aligning ever so elegantly as well, with that crossover from the trend line to the broken counter trend line as well. So all factors and stars are aligning ever so well right now. So it's just about patience, letting this daily candle close. It's only Wednesday as well. And looking at this weekly candle closure, my goodness, this could be at this level by the end of the week. So it's well worth practicing. We haven't seen a retest of this level just yet, which is a little bit alarming considering we've broken this trend line. So considering that hasn't happened just yet, I do believe this little push lower, which could literally take 1, 2, 3, 4, literally 4 weeks on the dot. It's the 28th of August, of course. So by then, we could literally be seeing this movement to here or down to there, 20 cents at the bare minimum, before this then shifts over to blow through the roof, break through this trend line here, and then start attacking this trend line here, break above. Very hard to do with many purple lines, but I hope you see the image over here, and then we continue rocketing higher. So on a visual perspective, let me just mark that out black, just so you can see this a little bit easier. Couldn't even find the thing there. There we go. So essentially, once we're broken through from here, this is where the real fun should actually begin, and the FOMO party should kickstart once again. Fireworks, money, champagne for everyone, Dom Perignon by the crate. It should be a beautiful sight to see. So for the time being, please just take note of these levels here. I know it can look a bit sloppy, but there's a lot going on right now, so I am having to slightly increase the amount of analysis on the charts versus the overall clean charts as well. Going back to BTC, well, I mean, it's not looking too good for that 1 hour thing right now. For all I know, this could literally just tap here a little bit higher and roll over to the downside as well. So I wouldn't really be looking to enter short after such a huge move, but I also wouldn't really be looking to enter long. Just because it may actually go back and retest, it doesn't mean it's actually worth the risk. If I was to do the same here for this same manipulative wick and drag it down to there, we are looking at around $9,000 and $8,900. Looking at the retest regions, you could see this come through around here. Quick tap of that level, and then Lord behold, we fall lower. Drag this to here, then of course that's a perfect 61.8% retracement, perfect alignment with the prior lows as well, and overall just really gearing up for what could be a well and truly magnificent end of the year. So guys, on this note, again, we've had a huge widget commercial launch today. Again, the link will be in the bio. This analysis is now unfolding to precision. So just scrap aside the thought of any long opportunity for the time being. We will only be entering long now if we break through this trend line and this trend line here, retest, and then we will enter long. Now that this has come through, the bias is going to well and truly unfold. And to think, yet again, everyone was screaming all-time highs coming soon. But again, the market dynamics, market cycles, people do not understand the market cycles of the cryptocurrency market. They do not understand the formula and how it actually moves, how it's manipulated. And this is something I've been studying for an incredibly long time now. Blood, sweat, and tears have gone into working with these borderline lunar cycles and all this crazy stuff that goes into market analysis. It's all unfolding now in real time. So again, just please follow the analysis sensibly. Do not rush into any trades. I know a few of you from Twitter, by the looks of it, have already jumped in long. You guys are doing some crazy stuff. Please don't go too overboard, but it's happening right now. So just pay attention, be sensible, and we could well and truly be seeing a beautiful end of the year and everything coming through to plan. So I hope you guys are having a good week so far. And guess what? There are many more commercials to come alongside the reveal of the Wizard platform. I cannot wait for that day, and it's coming very soon. Everything is just unfolding at an incredibly fast pace right now. As you know already from the prior podcast, I'm literally sleeping around 7 a.m. every day, waking up at around 10 a.m., 11 a.m., sometimes even earlier, going straight to the office and just going. It's blood, sweat, and tears right now. But what I'm about to deliver to you guys is going to not only revolutionize your trading, I almost promise you'll be able to pick up the principles in a matter of weeks. This is nothing like you've seen before, not to mention the platform itself just complements everything and boosts your trading tenfold as well. So I cannot wait for this revolution. Me and my team, the Wizard team, the Wizard family, and you guys as well. We are going to change the crypto industry as you know it. It's time to say goodbye to all of this rubbish, all of this malarkey, and take this onto a serious level. We want to be taken seriously by investors in the crypto space, so that means we are going to make CryptoWZRD a very serious and corporate entity. Now guys, see you on Twitter, Instagram, and Telegram very soon.